orchestra will play our theme song.
You know that song, don't you?
Sure I do.
Well, then sing it.
I went to MGM for one picture, thank goodness only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening.
I've kind of come to think that Hollywood and Washington, D.C. have a certain kind of person.
Gee, I wonder what leads you to believe that.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Our little drawings.
So what's the little drawings?
You see, we draw drawings of each other. Brian is the famous artist, and we always make fun of each other and portray each other in silly, satirical ways.
Leo's job on this set, for some reason, is to make fun of me all day.
People in Hollywood and D.C., they have a tremendous amount of power. People in Hollywood have the power to really sculpt Americans' attitudes about a lot of different things. And of course, people in Washington, D.C. have the power to make laws that govern all of us. And Hollywood Babylon.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Are they pro sex trafficking? Is that what it is? They like child sex trafficking?
When you try to get into justice, the media won't go there at all.
I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing.
We've seen some clips of him beating on women. I mean, that's standard operating procedure for him.
I haven't seen one person on the left say, this is fucked up, no. Is everybody guilty? I mean, like, what, did everybody have a hand in this? Like, why is nothing happening?
What do you do to make just an amazing killer party?
What are those paintings of George Bush throwing airplanes at 2 Jenga towers?
Right. Just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
There's some dark corner of intelligence that's been doing this forever.
Now, let that sink in for a minute. I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug.
Politicians went to those parties. Celebrities went to those parties. Sports stars went to those parties.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
Freak-off parties.
Freak-off parties, yeah. And here's another nexus. Damian Williams, he got a grant from the Paul and Daisy Soros Foundation to go to, I think it was Yale Law School. Because it's Damian Williams, we know the fix is in. Damian Williams is the nexus between Epstein and P. Diddy. There were 4 Epstein victims that were called to testify. Now, those victims had only been molested by Epstein and Maxwell. They had not been molested by any of the power brokers. That was a very carefully choreographed trial.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to a audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors.
You know what I see? I see a bunch of complicit people. Maybe they're complicit because they want that to happen.
This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal.
And I'm not trying to polarize anything here. I'm just calling out what I see, and what I see is the left not doing anything to protect kids.
People on the left think everybody's QAnon, and people on the right think everybody on the left is about woke. I live in New York City, which is kind of the epicenter of liberalism, and most people that I know that are on the left think it's completely insane.
Then how does this stuff keep passing?
I mean, how did QAnon? I mean, when you get zealous people...
QAnon isn't turning into law. This shit is turning into law.
For the first time, we are hearing about victims who say they were minors when they were allegedly assaulted by the music star.
With the anti-trafficking movement, it's pretty interesting. It's people that are religious and people that are very far left feminist. I see them coming together for this issue. And I think that they can come together for this issue around Epstein. I mean, once people understand Epstein and Franklin and the Snow murders and P. Diddy, I mean, it just keeps coming. I mean, the Catholic Church, the Boy Scouts, I mean, I see it now unites the right and the left in the anti-trafficking movement. I believe that it can happen on a much bigger scale.
I hope you're right, Nick.
I do too.
I would love to see some people on the left start taking a stand on this stuff.